From Normal Community High School in Normal, Illinois, Clutch Sports Media is proud to present live coverage of the 2021 Big 12 Boys Basketball Tournament. Coming up, the first game of the tournament. It's the Peoria High School Lions going at it against the Bloomington Purple Raiders. Joey Wright alongside John Camosa. And John, we are ready to kick off the Big 12 Basketball Tournament. A byproduct of what has been a crazy and unusual year. We think we're going to see a crazy tournament in a good way. Tough one for Bloomington in this one as the 1-9 Purple Raiders draw the 5-5 Peoria Lions. But John, talking with the coaches before the game, Justin Walker for Bloomington, Dan Ruffin for Peoria, it's still got that postseason feel, and anything can happen when these two teams get together.
Yeah, Joey, and Coach Dan Ruffin said, leave it all on the line tonight. You got that postseason feel, and I think a lot of coaches in this abbreviated season we're wanting that feeling here in March, and it's still there. It's a winner-go-home situation, so obviously he wants Peoria High to really lay it all out there tonight. He says he expects good things out of State of Sean Kelly and Nathan Moore to step up for him tonight.
We have seen this Peoria squad a couple of times now this season. We saw them score a big win against Peoria Notre Dame earlier in the year. We saw Bloomington once, John, against Manual, and I believe Manual emerged victorious in that one, but a lot of talent up and down this Bloomington team. They will start with the opening possession here just in front of us. We'll get you the starting lineups as we move into the game, but we can tell you that triggering the first possession is John Shuey, Bloomington's sophomore guard. And Shuey gets us underway immediately. He tries to attack the basket, and Peoria comes up with a steal. Here's Kelly for the Lions, and he lays it in. And, John, a fast-paced first 10 seconds.
And one thing you'll see, too, that Bloomington struggles with a bit is when other teams get in transition like this, and that's something that really kind of collapsed them when they played Manual. Peoria High doing the same thing to start the game just now.
They certainly are, and we'll get you the starting lineup for the Purple Raiders. Purple Raiders in yellow across your screen today. It's Famious French, T.J. Barger, Caden Baker, Adam Beasley, and John Shuey. As a three-pointer falls, and the Purple Raiders take their first lead of the game. Adam Beasley on the connection.
Yeah, Joey, and I think you mentioned before the game started, or right as it was starting, Bloomington a 1-9 record. I think you kind of throw records out the door here tonight as both teams come out firing, wanting to keep their season alive.
Both teams putting on a nice show early on from beyond the arc. Count that three to Nathan Moore. Dangerous from anywhere is Moore, Peoria's junior guard. And we'll have an offensive foul here for Bloomington, and we'll take this dead ball to get you the starting lineup for the Lions. It'll be Stayshawn Kelly, Tim Whitney Williams, Deshaun Wells, Nathan Moore, and Bo Allen. That's what the starting five looks like for Peoria. I want to thank Normal Community High School for hosting us and this opening couple of games in the Big 12 tournament tonight. Up next on ClutchSportsIL.com, Centennial and Normal West. Fun one on tap then as Allen looks to attack, and Allen with a nice find to Tim Whitney Williams. And Peoria goes back out into the lead.
We saw that a lot too when Peoria High played Manual. We even saw it a lot in the Notre Dame. Bo Allen he created a lot of open looks for his teammates. Great facilitator out there for the Lions, and player that Dan Ruffin really likes having on his team.
As well he should. Here's Bloomington, and it's Adam Beasley. Beasley averaging under 3 points a game this season. Or pardon me, that was last season. As a freshman, now a sophomore. And that'll be the first Bloomington foul of the evening.
And Joey, one player to keep an eye on tonight for the Purple Raiders squad is number 4 out there, 6'2" senior guard T.J. Barger, who recently just committed to play golf at Illinois under Coach Mike Small. Great golfer out there on the course, and we've seen him very productive in that Manual game. Once they were down, kind of came in, made a lot of good passes, closed out a lot of defensive looks and made some shots. So that's one player that could definitely have his hand on this game.
Certainly would expect him to, and off the wedgie, Peoria emerges. It's a nice golf program Mike Small has built at Illinois, nice to say the least.
Yeah, and Larry Larson and I were talking about on the call yesterday against Peoria Christian game, and said, Illinois is always known as a golf school, but it's not that this year. Basketball team ranked 3rd in the nation.
Having a lot of fun over in Champaign at the State Farm Center. It's a shame the fans can't get in to watch it. Peoria will inbound here, and Barger will come off. No, he's going to stay on. Baker will come off. And that'll bring Andreas James into the game for the Raiders.
And Joey, we talked so much about it this year, almost on every broadcast that we've done. With the limited fans, the energy is still there on both sides. And tonight we don't have spectators at all, but the benches are bringing that energy tonight. And it's got more of that postseason feel, that opening round, as you would expect.
It does. And in talking before this game, we weren't quite sure what the energy in here was going to be like, but it's such a small space that you really hear the benches, you hear the sounds of the game. As Bloomington works it around, they've been held scoreless since the opening three of the game fell from Barger. And they turn it over here. Here go the Lions. Kelly with a nice find, and Moore just missed his second three, what would have been his second three, I should say. But the Lions will maintain.
Yeah, and that's one thing Peoria High won't do, is shy away from that three. They get a lot of inside looks. They pride themselves on their defensive as well, but that when they get going from behind the arc, they can be very dangerous.
Certainly can. Seth Kane fresh into the game for Peoria. And it's Moore looking down low for Kane. Kane could not control it. 3 minutes gone by in the first, and here's Bloomington. John, Bloomington just has not seemed to find that rhythm here early on.
No, they haven't, and that's kind of been the struggle this season for them, is getting down early and kind of falling in a hole. And you're in a conference where you look at the banners across from you. You got teams like Normal Community, Danville, Normal West, Champaign Central, Notre Dame, and it's a tough conference to play in. And if you get down early, it never bodes too well. You want to make sure you're in these games.
Deshaun Wells puts him down a little bit further. Deshaun Wells has had a nice season for the Lions, the junior forward. And you can hear the Peoria bench coming alive and making a lot of noise.
Yeah, one thing really like to see out of Dan Ruffin in his first year, very animated on the sidelines, just how his dad was, out there, and obviously wants to get his guys fired up, and you could see that early on. A lot of chatter out there.
Dan Ruffin in his first season, of course, Peoria's head coach with a storied career at Bradley, was on the noted teams of the mid-2000s. 3 on the way, just off the mark. Kelly missed that one. The rebound, Peoria's Moore. Moore goes back to Kelly.
Really nice ball movement early on by the Lions. Draws a foul there, but getting that extra pass, creating shots.
Foul will go against Tamarion Reynolds. Reynolds returns as a junior this year. As a sophomore last season, averaged just under 4 points. And we will have our first mask timeout of the game.
Joey, and I think one thing, too, with Peoria High, which early on we haven't seen too much, that can separate them and really take that record and kind of flip it on its head if they were putting everything together on all cylinders. But we've seen them struggle with turnovers, but I think if they can really work that out, it could be a very dangerous team in this postseason tournament right now.
Certainly can. A lot of talent on this Bloomington team. We'll see if they can find it here out of the mask timeout. We'll take this break to remind you that tonight's coverage is brought to you by Uftring Weston Chevy Cadillac in Peoria. From the iconic Silverado and Blazer to the luxurious Cadillac XT4 and Escalade, Uftring Weston offers world-class sales and service right here in Peoria. Visit UfteringWeston.com today. Tonight's coverage also brought to you by Uftring Nissan. On Allen Road in Peoria, test drive the latest exciting Nissan products, including the all-new 2021 Rogue and Sentra. Plus, save time and buy your car 100% online. Visit UfteringNissan.net today. Glad to have Uftring on board with us today and throughout the season, helping to make our live coverage of high school sports in Central Illinois a possibility. Free to watch on ClutchSportsIL.com, and I understand a lot of our viewers are with us on YouTube directly this evening. Glad to have you with us however you choose to watch. First free throw is in from Moore.
Good opportunity this year, especially with a lot of fans not being able to take place inside the gym. Still giving you that experience in your living room or you're watching on your phone, but right now you get that March feeling, a little bit of postseason. Should be a really exciting Big 12 tournament.
We will be here at Normal Community High School tonight and tomorrow. We've got a triple header coming your way tomorrow, so mark your calendars for that. As to what matchups we'll have for you tomorrow, of course, we'll know by the end of the night. Centennial and Normal West coming up as Bloomington nearly turned it over, and now it looks like they will. Here's Bo Allen, and Bo Allen says hello.
Just talked about how many different things Bo Allen can do on the floor, and how about that, getting in for that steal and pushing in transition, got a lot of speed under him.
Came out of nowhere, John, and really created that opportunity. Now it's Adam Beasley for Bloomington. Bloomington was looking for Reynolds. Reynolds couldn't handle the pass, and Peoria could go ahead by double digits.
And Joey, just as we saw in that manual game that Bloomington played and struggled with a lot of turnovers early, and kind of seeing that same thing right now.
3 on the way and falling. Count that one from Austin Jones. Bloomington wants a timeout, and they will get it. Justin Walker not happy with what he is seeing early on.
No, and if you're Coach Dan Ruffin, it's a start you'd want if you're the Lions, coming out hot out of the gate. And Justin Walker, Joey, what do you kind of say during this timeout to get your team back on track here? Because it's kind of been something they've struggled with in all 10 games this year.
It has, John, and they started out relatively hot, and this one actually led 3-2 at one point on the TJ Barger 3. And that was it still is the lone basket for Bloomington thus far. Counted as a 13-2 run for Peoria. And John, this is a Peoria team that's been up and down this season, 5-5. One of those 5 wins was a win against Peoria Notre Dame. We were at that game, of course, and the Lions played well, out-hustled the Irish from start to finish, really, and then they promptly lost to Champaign Central the next day. They've been a little inconsistent.
Yeah, and I think one thing, too, we're talking about this postseason tournament and things you're going to have to do in these games in order to, keep your season alive. Is a lot of it comes down to, defense, obviously, and free throws. Free throws are the most crucial, and something we saw in that Notre Dame game that really impressed me. Peoria High, tended to struggle with free throws throughout the season, and Dan Ruffin said they need to kind of turn it around. And in that game, Stadishan Kelly, I believe, made 6 or 7 down the stretch, but really ultimately sealed it.
Stadishan Kelly, a clutch player for this Lions team. Here's Bloomington. As we mentioned, on the opposite end of a 12-0 scoring run. It'll be a 13-0 run, pardon me. And we'll add on to that. Nice find and a nice finish from Kelly. This is a beautiful finish from Kelly.
I think we're going to see a lot of that tonight, Joey, just how disruptive they are on the defensive end right now. And there's always somebody out there running, getting ready to track it down on the other end. But we could see a lot of fast breaks tonight.
And, John, what creates those fast breaks, of course, is Peoria's smothering defense. They have not allowed Bloomington to do anything here in the last, we've played 6 minutes. It was really about that last 5.5 minutes. They started early.
Yeah, and if they can clog that lane and especially take away looks from outside from Barger or Shuey or any other guys on the floor that have the tendency to shoot it, it's going to be a rough night for the Purple Raiders unless they can really get something going here.
They need to get something going soon. That was French who took it all the way to the basket, and he was fouled, so he will get rewarded for his efforts, and the Purple Raiders will look to get back into the scoring column. And still some ambient noise here on the free throws. You can hear the Peoria bench behind us. First free throw off from French. John, we've been at some games this season, including last night's game at Peoria Christian High School, where there was essentially no noise in the gym at all.
Yeah, and it's dead quiet. Larry and I mentioned you could hear a pin drop in here, but I think with this being the West Gym, a little bit smaller gym, not the normal, main gym that normal community Ironmen use, it's got more of that open gym vibe, It might have a lot more crowd noise even during free throws or during timeouts, and I think that's good to see. It adds to that energy level.
It certainly does, and it certainly has, and you can hear that energy from the Peoria bench as Kelly, pardon me, not Kelly, but Elijah Love has a chance to complete the and one.
And Elijah Love, only a sophomore, 6'4", still room to grow. But we've seen so much out of him even in that Danville game that we covered earlier in the season. It's a big piece for the Lions, even going into next year.
Elijah Love, a 6'4" sophomore. And he is built very solidly, can do a lot for you in the low post. We've also seen his perimeter game this season, off on the free throw. Now, John, I want to go back to that kind of open gym vibe we have. You know, we're right on the floor and our camera's just above the floor. And maybe it's because we haven't been down here much this season, but the game feels like it's moving a lot faster.
It certainly does. And like you said, that might have something to do with us being, you know, more ground level. But yeah, it's definitely a very up-tempo game. And this bodes very well for the Lions. This is the style they love to play in, and I think that's why they have this 19-6 advantage early on.
Lead stands at 13. It's Kelly, and Kelly looks for Allen. Allen into the paint, kicks it back to Kelly. Kelly's three is on the way and is just short, but an offensive rebound for the Lions. Here's Kane. Kane is fouled, and the guilty party there will be the senior Caden Baker.
Joey, how about the pass there by Kelly? A heads-up play to track it down and then almost kind of throw it without even looking. Kane draws the contact, but great heads-up play there from Kelly, and we've seen a lot of that this season.
We certainly have. And Kelly, what did he finish with against Notre Dame? Like 18 points?
I believe it was 18, but just every key thing that you could do in order to knock off a state-ranked team like that, he did. And he was almost took the team on his back there at the end of the game.
Second free throw falls for Kane. And John, we go back to that PND win for Peoria. That was PND's first loss in over 400 days. I think 433 was the specific number. No matter how good a team you are, no matter how well you play, it's hard to get over that hump, and a nice block there. Adam Beasley.
It's one thing you're going to have to do is beat him back, because once he blows by in transition, he'll have that open layup, but a really nice job there by Adam Beasley to soar above the rim and get that block.
Caden Baker will get 2 free throws here. John, in the last minute or so, it looks like Bloomington has started to catch up.
I think they're trying to keep with that Peoria high tempo, which could wear you down because, Joey, we've seen this a lot in these games this year, you know, especially in the Notre Dame game. They were close there with Danville, but Peoria High definitely doesn't slow down. It doesn't seem like they get very tired or exhausted in these games. So I think, you know, plan to see this tempo keep going for the full game.
Very well-conditioned team indeed. We do have a couple of substitutions here at the dead ball. Nathan Moore will make his return for Peoria. Out comes Amarion Young, and Bloomington has brought in a couple of subs. One of which, problem with being on the floor is we've got the referee right in the way.
I believe 22 on the block, which would be
Reynolds is back
Reynolds.
in. Yep. And the free throw on the way from Baker is in, and we'll have another substitution. Baker is out, and Nico Newsom is in. Just give you the 5 on the floor here for Bloomington. It's Barger. Barger joined by James. Reynolds is out there as well, as is French. And Newsom. It's Moore for Peoria, and a foul will be called. That'll send Moore to the line. And that foul, I believe, will go against Reynolds. No. Newsom. Newsom fresh into the game, picks up his first. First on the way, count it from Moore. And now Bloomington with a couple of more subs. Caden Baker and Adam Beasley return. Newsom to the bench just as quickly as he came in. And the second on the way, and in from Moore.
Bloomington probably going to play for the last shot here in these closing 10 seconds, see if they can get something to go, cut into this deficit a little bit.
Clock's at 5. See it on the bottom of your screen. Bloomington wants something. They've got to hurry. 3 is on the way, just off the mark. Nolan Rink, who is fresh into the game for Bloomington, comes in and fails to convert on the 3. So at the end of a quarter, it is 22-7 favoring Peoria. John, quick thoughts from the first quarter.
Yeah, I thought Peoria High looked really good in transition, and I thought their defense looked even better, Joey, and I think that's why they're out to that 22-7 lead. Did all the little intangibles, a lot of rebounding, a lot of defense, smothering defense at that, and when they can push it in transition like that and pick up that pace, they're a dangerous team.
Take this break to remind you that tonight's coverage is brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Peoria on Allen Road. Stop in today and take advantage of courtesy car specials and drive home a Jaguar or Land Rover for less than you might think. Uftring Jaguar Land Rover on Allen Road, Jaguar Land Rover Peoria.com. Tonight's coverage is also brought to you by Uftring Nissan on Allen Road in Peoria. Test drive the latest exciting Nissan products, including the all-new 2021 Rogue and Sentra. Plus, save time and buy your car 100% online. Visit UfteringNissan.net today. And tonight's coverage is brought to you by Uftring Weston Chevy Cadillac in Peoria. From the iconic Silverado and Blazer to the luxurious Cadillac XT4 and Escalade, Uftring Weston offers world-class sales and service right here in Peoria. Visit UfteringWeston.com. Back to the action, inbounded right in front of us. Bloomington has the first crack at scoring in the second quarter. Quickly a three on the way. It's off from Rink.
Two decent looks there from Rank. One to close out the first quarter, and one just now. Just can't get either to fall. I think Bloomington's going to want those to start pouring in to get back into this one.
Glad you're with us tonight on ClutchSportsIL.com. This is the opening game of the 2021 Big 12 tournament. Kelly shooting a three and knocking it in for Peoria.
Peoria High's got a lot of different weapons on that team that can shoot it. You got Kelly, Nathan Moore, Bo Allen. It's just a up and down the roster, a lot of different threats from beyond the arc.
And answering is Bloomington, Caden Baker. That was a deep two. And John, we haven't even called the likes of Quan Brown, star freshman for Peoria. You know, a couple of players have not played. Three on the way from Allen, just off the mark, but cleaning it up is Moore.
Yeah, even up and down that bench, you got a lot of guys that can funnel in who can provide that spark for Peoria High, which, depending on how this game keeps going, we could see some bench guys in here late.
Three dialing up, just short. Bloomington couldn't finish. Adam Beasley had a chance at it down low.
Love the effort out of Beasley, though, attacking the rim and getting that big block on Kelly earlier in the first quarter, and then trying to finish that putback there, and I think they're going to need that energy to hang with the Lions.
Deshaun Wells couldn't convert on a deep two, and a deeper three from Allen. No dice. There's Bloomington, and Bloomington attacking with Barger. Barger's sister plays basketball as well. Saw her against Peoria High School a couple of weeks ago. That was a big win for Peoria, but Barger had a nice performance.
You always got to like seeing those multi-sport athletes, talented in basketball and equally talented in golf.
He absolutely is. As we mentioned earlier, going to play golf for Mike Small at the University of Illinois. Bloomington, a football pass on the inbound. They work it around. Three on the way. Barger off that time. Rink couldn't get the rebound. And Peoria will try to push it to slow it down just a little bit.
And we'll be playing that pretty soon, Joey. A little football. Give it a week and a half.
That's right. IHSA football starting up next Friday. And it's kind of snuck up on us. We'll have an announcement regarding our first game here in a couple of days. Three coming up. Dropping it in is Moore. Nathan Moore has had a nice game from beyond the arc tonight, John.
Yeah, it really has. And Dan Ruffin said leave it all on the floor, and we've seen that early on. 30 points, 3 minutes in to the second quarter. Good start for the Lions.
Foul called on the shot there. And you can see the Peoria bench not entirely thrilled with the call. That'll send Beasley to the line. I mentioned that 39 score, the 32-9 score, I should say. You see at the bottom of your screen. Bloomington a chance to cut it under 20 here. And John, when we recap our viewers, if you're just joining us, Peoria started out hot and they really have not let up. That defense really keyed that early lead.
Certainly has, and I think we're kind of seeing right now Peoria High clicking all those cylinders that Dan Ruffin's wanting to click on. You got the defense, the three-point shooting, and when they can put everything together, this is a team that definitely a team to watch in the Big 12 tournament this week.
Absolutely, and this is the opening game of the Big 12 tournament. We'll have Centennial and Normal West coming up after this. So stay with us for that, and then a triple header tomorrow that will include Peoria. We will see Peoria Notre Dame and Manual. We would not see Peoria High School should they win this one. Barger misses the 3. Bloomington a couple of chances there, and a block from the Lions and a fast break chance. No finish there. And we'll have an inbound, and the reason, of course, that we would not see the Lions tomorrow is because they would play in Peoria. They would play Richwoods tomorrow, so we will be posted up here at Normal Community. Wouldn't see them. That game would be in Peoria. And we'll take this break to remind you that tonight's coverage is brought to you by Uftring Weston Chevy Cadillac in Peoria. From the iconic Silverado and Blazer to the luxurious Cadillac XT4 and Escalade, Uftring Weston offers world-class sales and service right here in Peoria. Visit UfteringWeston.com. Tonight's coverage is also brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Peoria on Allen Road. Take advantage of courtesy car specials and more, and drive home a Jaguar or Land Rover for less than you might think. That is JaguarLandRoverPeoria.com, and tonight's coverage is also brought to you by Uftring Nissan on Allen Road in Peoria. Test drive the latest exciting Nissan products, including the all-new 2021 Rogue and Sentra. Plus, save time and buy your car 100% online. Visit UfteringNissan.net today. So we welcome you back into the action. Thank you to Uftring for joining on with us not only tonight but throughout the season. Peoria and Bloomington going at it early. And the foul will be called there on the floor. And update you on our total foul situation, John. 6 for each side. That should update, and it will update to 7 for Peoria. So Bloomington now on the 1-and-1 bonus.
Feels like Bloomington's been at the line tonight a lot too, trying to draw some contact inside there. I think it's going to be a battle down low when you're playing against Peoria High, and you got a lot of guys that clog that lane, make it tough on you.
First free throw from Tamarion Reynolds, his only free throw. He didn't hit it. And now the Lions in a little trouble here. We see Bloomington press. Defense a little more aggressive than they have been, and a floater won't fall for Allen. And here's a fast break opportunity and a lay-in. No. A travel.
Tough break there for Bloomington. Looking for that transition bucket and just took that extra step.
To travel, you don't see a whole lot. And, you know, the whistle, you think maybe it was a foul. Of course, there was no contact. The right call, and that's a deflating mistake.
Kind of a tough pass when you're looking behind you. You don't know how much room you really got in front of you, and you take that 1 or 2 extra steps and kind of get caught in your own mistake.
It's Andreas James, the guilty party. Here's Sess Kane. Kane a handoff behind him to Moore. And Moore has Austin Jones. And Jones is fouled. So that'll put Jones to the free throw line in the 1-and-1. Or no, pardon me, they'll call that an offensive foul against Jones.
Trying to see where that hand was thrown up. It looked clean, but at a weird angle, so.
Yeah, in any case, that'll give Bloomington the ball back. Still trailing by 22, John. They've played a little better here, I think, in the last 5, 6, 7 minutes, but that early deficit has been tough to erase, to say the least. 2 coming up and off the mark, but a rebound cleaned up and finished by Beasley.
And it's tough anytime you get in that hole against Peoria High, because like we talked about, you know they're going to keep applying that pressure on both ends. Just makes it a challenge. Well, rough was kind of in my way there, Joe. You caught with an elbow, or?
Yeah, it looks like we've got a bloody. Well, no, that's not blood. Thank goodness. I thought I wasn't sure what that was on the mask timeout.
Be aware of the mask now.
That is a relief. I look because we're right on the floor. I look
and with that glare
down the glare. Yeah, I saw this black sort of. You know, looked like a puddle. Yeah. Oh, thank goodness. And I apologize if I'm making any of our viewers a little squeamish. The mask fell off. We're back to the action. Oh, and hitting the floor hard there is Wells.
Seen a pretty clean game so far, but a little physicality there on that offensive foul, and hitting the deck hard there.
Yeah, we mentioned this a moment ago, John, as Wells readies for his first free throw. Mentioned that because we're on the floor here and, you know, we're right in front of the action, really, it seems like it's been a really fast-paced game. I think maybe some of that is just perception, but the reality matches, too. It has been a quick-paced game up and down the floor on both sides.
Yeah, it surely has. And that's one thing that Dan Ruffin touched on after that free throw's made. He expects big things out of Deshaun Wells in this game and going fourth in the tournament if they can come away with a win tonight.
Bloomington has the deficit at 20, trying to get it to 17. Three wouldn't fall from Beasley. Beasley's been a big part of the offense last couple of moments, and we will have updated statistics for you coming out of the halftime break. We'll get those for you at halftime. You've got to figure Beasley is right there in the conversation as Bloomington's leading scorer. Three is off the mark for Moore. Down low, still loose. Bloomington will come away with it. Nice spin from Beasley. There he is again, and the foul. Adam Beasley. And you can tell, John, he's fired up after that one.
Yeah, really nice take there from Beasley. We've seen him big on the boards tonight, big on the defensive end, getting that block and hanging for that one. And good effort there to finish. Chance to complete the three-point play. Complete, sorry.
That foul against Austin Jones, his first, team's 9th. Beasley gets the old-fashioned three.
Keep in mind, too, for our viewers at home, Beasley only a sophomore, so chance for him to really develop and grow his game, but good things out of him tonight so far.
Absolutely, and as a freshman last season, mentioned earlier that he did play. He played significant minutes for Bloomington, averaged just under 3 points per game. And here's Barger, the senior, stepping up, couldn't finish. And someone who can finish is Kane, not Kane, but Kelly. Sean Kelly has had a big season.
And that shot too, Joey, looked like it was off the mark, but he put enough spin on there to get it to roll back in, and we've seen that a lot from him. He can kind of contort that ball and make it do whatever he wants.
Gotta wonder how good he is in English class, I bet, putting the English on it.
Yeah.
Bo Allen will bring it up for the Lions. Under 2 minutes to play here in the half, as you see at the bottom of your screen. Francisco Alonso at the controls of our computer tonight. John Michaels running our game camera. Josh Schwam on our social medias. Bo Allen taking a three for Peoria. It's short. And the Purple Raiders will take another hack at it. Three on the way. Just off. Rebound. Nearly an and one there. Perhaps it wasn't as close as it actually was from our vantage point here, but credit French for sticking with the play, John.
Yeah, certainly, Joey, and I think if you're Coach Justin Walker in Bloomington, you know, being in a large deficit, I think even cutting this to 14 or 15 going into halftime, you'd feel a little bit better. Still an achievable feat that you could get over, but the closer the better. I don't think you want to be down 20 or so to the Lions going into the halftime.
Quiet Jim as we're ready for the free throw, and French knocks it in. And John, there is something to be said about a 17-point deficit or even an 18, 19-point deficit as opposed to the big 2-0. Here's Bo Allen. Allen kicking to Kane. Kane lost it. So all of a sudden, and you don't want to overstate it, but Bloomington has mounted a little bit of momentum here. They seem to have a slight edge as we move into the last minute 4 of the second quarter. I think maybe Dan Ruffin realizes that. He wants a timeout and he'll get it.
And I think one good game to use an example on is, Joey, you and I called that Peoria High game against Notre Dame, and that first loss for the Irish this year. And Notre Dame looked like a completely different team in the second half. You know, really looked lackadaisical. Didn't have much energy, and then second half gave it their all, and were right there in that game had it not been for Stadishon Kelly's free throws, and it boosts the Lions. But I think in games this year that we've seen, and sometimes that is the tale of two halves, and you know, you never know what you could get out of Bloomington out of this halftime break.
That's exactly right, and Notre Dame fell down. They were down by, what, 13, kind of that margin in the first half. Stormed back in the second half. I mean, came down to the wire for sure that evening. It was a 48-44 win for the Lions, but yeah, if you can dial up that intensity, you know, that's a great point. We've seen teams post that big second half against this Lions team.
Especially in, you know, say 10-point or 7-point games down the stretch. A lot of that has to do with defense. We saw Washington come back against Morton in an incredible finish during the Mid-Illini season, so it's definitely obtainable. Seen it a lot.
Washington in that one was down by 11 within 3 or 4 minutes to play. Trying to take it all the way was Beasley. And now a transition opportunity for the Lions. Moore with the finish and one. And Nathan Moore will make a play, as we said, from anywhere on the floor.
Joe, you mentioned that English. How about that pass, though, to really cut I should say thread the needle there and find that small gap and get Nathan Moore right in stride to finish that layup. Kind of your do-it-all player on the court tonight.
That was a transition opportunity that wasn't born from a turnover. It was really just created by the Lions' willingness to run and gun. And the free throw falls from Moore. So that leaves Bloomington with a chance. They're down by 20 again. 25 seconds left. Do you think they hold it, John?
We'll see. I think they might, unless they get to the line here. So I think that might give Peoria High an advantage if they can get if they make both, they get the ball back. If they miss one, get the rebound, they get it. So
I thought it was a good question, but then I think Bloomington probably heard me with how close we are.
We've had that jinx happen 9 out of 10 times this year. We say something and then the opposite happens. So.
It's John Shuey with the first free throw, falls in. A lot of times I even ask that question much sooner with like 40, 45 seconds left.
Yep.
25 seconds left. You think, maybe they will, maybe they won't.
I recall, I think it was a Peoria High game kind of talking about struggling from behind the arc, and then they hit 3 in a row or 2 in a row, and you almost kind of, say something from the booth, and who knows if they hear you.
Second off from Shuey. Rebound Peoria, and we'll see if the Lions choose to hold it. They've been playing an up-tempo offense to this point, and they won't have the chance to hold it. Foul on the floor. And Bloomington still with 1 foul to give before the double bonus, so a 1-and-1 opportunity for Kelly.
Yeah, if you want to push that score to 40, it's definitely the player you'd like at the line. Stadishon Kelly, we talked about that Notre Dame game, huge for them at the free throw line. He's really done a great job there at the stripe.
Lions have doubled the Purple Raiders up, but it's still early. Kelly, the 1-and-1, got it. He'll get a second, and Bloomington was ready to go. You like the hustle.
Yeah. Tim Whitney Williams kind of tangled up there on that one. Bloomington ready to run, kind of took his leg out. They were so anxious.
20-point game. Free throw on the way from Kelly. It's 21. And we'll have a sub for the shooter. Kelly exits and Jones comes in.
See if Bloomington can get that. All they need is 1 point to cut it to 20.
Taking it up slowly. 5 seconds left. It's in the hands of Beasley. Beasley tries to drive, doesn't have it. Rebound and a prayer for Moore. Falls short. And that's how the first half ends.
Beasley was looking for a foul there on that take and just couldn't get it. And really good half for Peoria High, and you got to feel good about this going into halftime, having this advantage.
They walk to the locker room with confidence. Bloomington with a little bit of work to do. We will take a break for halftime here. John, before we step away, we'll get the statistics from the scorers table. Who do you think the leading scorer is for either side? You know, we kind of have to go, and I don't think either of us have been keeping score. So take your guess. I mean, who do you think has stepped up and had those performances? We've seen Kelly. We've seen a couple of.
Yeah, Stadishon Kelly, Nathan Moore's close, Lerone, or I should say Bo Allen. But I think Kelly's going to be the leading scorer. He should be the leading scorer for Peoria High, and it's been kind of up and down for Bloomington, Joey. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but you got to think Beasley's had some production, and we'll find out.
We certainly will. We'll get those statistics for you and come back in a couple of minutes for the second half. Don't go anywhere. On ClutchSportsIL.com, you can see the countdown to the second half. At the bottom of your screen, it is a 40-19 lead for the Peoria Lions. We'll see if the Bloomington Purple Raiders can post a comeback on ClutchSportsIL.com after the half. from Normal Community Illinois, Clutch Sports Media is back for the second half. Got you back just in time for the action as Bloomington takes over here the first possession of the second half. Joey Wright, John Camosa, and the entire Clutch Sports Media team glad to be with you as Tamarion Reynolds drops one in, and John will get you those updated statistics here in just a moment, but Bloomington out of the gate strong.
Yeah, Justin Walker's, this is the start you want, hitting that three right out of the halftime break to cut into that lead a little bit, and then getting the ball right back here, Joey, a chance to come down and score again. So things are looking decent for Bloomington to open this third quarter.
Reynolds with his first 3 points of the evening on that three ball, and the Lions now only lead by 18. And we'll get you the updated scoring statistics as we told you we would. Famious French has 3 points for Bloomington and another 3 points from Caden Baker. Bloomington is led in the scoring column, as we kind of speculated, by Adam Beasley. He had 12 first half points. And then a look at the notables for Peoria. Nate Moore with 14 points and another 11 from Stayshawn Kelly, and make that 17 points now for Moore, a big three.
Yeah, Kelly and Moore, the two players that Coach Dan Ruffin said he was really expecting big things out of tonight. Getting it done on the offensive end, and see Adam Beasley there adding his totals, the three-pointer.
Bolsters his total to 15 points now. Beasley having a nice evening. And that three was big as Bloomington looks to keep pace with the Lions early on. Turnover, and Bo Allen will run the show here for the Lions. Allen is guarded by Tamarion Reynolds. And Nathan Moore will set the play into motion.
So you're seeing a little bit of slower tempo here from Peoria High. Bloomington trying to step up on the defensive end. Hard foul there. We've seen that a lot though this year too, Joe, is Sean Kelly, gets in there and they can draw tough contact. He still finishes and going to the line on this one. Or no, I should say an inbounds.
On the floor, Allen will inbound. It's very well may end in free throws. Physical play down low, but falling down was Deshaun Wells, and Bloomington trying to run something with Barger, but they'll turn it over, and there's Moore who tried to bring it up for Peoria, but he is fouled. I want to take a step back here, John, and thank the whole staff at Normal Community High School here, Athletic Director Nick Kierfot and company, for hosting us tonight. They've accommodated us with bottles of water, a nice touch. As we start the second half, and Nick and the entire staff putting on part of the Big 12 tournament along with Bloomington High School and Normal West High School. Nate Moore scores there for Peoria. We'll see games at all three sites next couple of days. We will be here at Normal Community High School tomorrow night as well, in addition to later tonight, and probably won't be out here on Friday or Saturday, but stay tuned. And no fans in the stands here this evening. We're in Normal Community's small gym, of course. So if you are watching, you're watching on ClutchSportsIL.com or on YouTube. Happy to have you with us. As Bloomington is taking free throws, John Shuey is at the line. Knocked them both in, and Peoria will attack it. As you said, John, a bit of a slower pace to start the second half.
Yeah, it is, and I think Peoria High can still play very well in that slow tempo style of play. See, they work the ball inside strong right there. They don't mind getting down and dirty on the rebounds.
They certainly don't, and the unofficial tally puts Moore now at 19 on the evening. Down low is Shuey, and Shuey is blocked. That'll stay with the Raiders, and they'll have an opportunity.
It's tough to go up there on Deshaun Wells. Nice block there on Shuey. Another 6'4" junior on the floor.
That shot was blocked or tipped by Whitney Williams. Here's Kelly for the Lions. He is blocked, but rather fouled. That was Reynolds who came soaring in there to force the shot to fall harmlessly to the hardwood. But free throws coming, so maybe not quite so harmlessly.
And how many times have we seen Kelly go up and them try to disrupt his shot? They know he's such a threat there when he gets in transition, just trying to limit his layups, because you know if it's just him, he's finishing.
Kelly with 11 first half points. A silent Jim as he converts his first free throw, a 21-point game, and Kelly now with 12. Barger exits for Bloomington. As the second free throw is off. Nearly an offensive rebound for the Lions. Shuey with a nifty pass. Find in the corner. 3 on the way from Beasley. And a rebound, Shuey in the opposite corner. Oh, what a move Shuey there. Got loose. And a travel. As Butler tried to, or pardon me, not Butler, but rather Andreas James tried to put that one on the floor.
Yeah, and they know Shuey likes to shoot it as well, and they really haven't gave him anything. Really swarming him there. And he gets a touch behind the line. Credit to Peoria's defense, doing a really good job of shifting on the floor and knowing where to be at all times, and clearly that's played to their advantage as they have that 48-27 lead.
Certainly looks like it has. We'll take this time to remind you that tonight's coverage is brought to you by Uftring Weston Chevy Cadillac in Peoria. From the iconic Silverado and Blazer to the luxurious Cadillac XT4 and Escalade, Uftring Weston offers world-class sales and service right here in Peoria. Visit UfteringWeston.com today. Tonight's coverage is also brought to you by Uftring Nissan on Allen Road in Peoria. Test drive the latest exciting specials, test drive the latest Nissan products, including the all-new 2021 Rogue and Sentra, plus save time and buy your car 100% online. Visit UfteringNissan.net today. And tonight's coverage also brought to you by Uftring Jaguar Land Rover Peoria on Allen Road. Take advantage of courtesy car specials and drive home a Jaguar or Land Rover for less than you might think. Jaguar Land Rover Peoria.com. Big thanks to Uftring, tonight's sponsor, Clutch Sports Media. They've been on with us a couple of times now this season, helping to bring our coverage of high school sports in Central Illinois to you for free, whether on ClutchSportsIL.com or on YouTube. Bo Allen bringing it up for Peoria.
See what Peoria High can do on this possession. Another good look inside to Wells. So aggressive down there. Just look at the effort there, Joey.
3 coming up from Kelly. Couldn't quite dial that one up. It was in and out.
Peoria High so physical down there, and looks like Bloomington couldn't get their hands on the ball. It's tough to do when you got 3 good rebounders down there.
Peoria is so adept down low, and really this Peoria team, I think, with its 5-5 record entering today, could challenge for this Big 12 tournament championship, just because when they're clicking, they are so deep. They have that size, and they can stretch that down low and burn you from outside as well.
Yeah, I think that's one thing about the postseason tournament. You throw seeds and you kind of throw records out the door. I think it's a fresh start for each team, and it's hard to really pin anybody as a favorite this early in such a tough conference. I mean, Notre Dame obviously coming in as one of the teams to beat, but Joe, you never know. It is March.
It is March, and the NCAA tournament getting ready to get going. All the inherent fun with watching that bracket. And this Peoria team, as we mentioned, defeated Notre Dame a couple of weeks ago. Bloomington off on the 3, and Peoria will take another stab at it. It's Moore. Nathan Moore nearly turned it over, kept his handle on it, and kicks to Jones for a 3. And he hits it. Austin Jones, number 3, 4-3. And Peoria the first to 50 tonight.
A little Harlem Globetrotter dribble there from Moore, dribbled it around the world to keep it alive, and kicks it into Jones in the corner.
Grant Lieber answers for Bloomington. And here's Kelly. Kelly to Jones. Does he have 2 in a row? Not quite, but a rebound for Moore. Mentioned Moore's Globetrotter dribble. It was the world's greatest dribbler, Curly Boo Johnson, who went to Peoria High School and graduated in the early 80s.
Seen Curly Boo sitting courtside when Manual and Peoria High squared off a couple weeks ago.
That's right.
should say a week ago. It seems like a lot.
It's
All these games kind of tie together.
They certainly do, and Curly Boo, a fantastic supporter of Peoria area high school hoops at Sess Kane at the line. First is short. Larry Larson and I had the chance to talk with him as part of our Catching Up with Clutch Sports Media series back in early January, that would have been. That is on our YouTube channel. Go check that out if you have a moment. Larry asked him a good question, or wound up getting a good answer from it. Asked him, do you still believe you're the world's greatest dribbler? And he told us, without revealing too much, because I want you to go and watch it, said he never really knew how he got that title. Always wanted to just be called Boo.
And the rest is for viewers to find out.
That's right. That's right. That's the art of the tease. You can't tell them too much.
Yeah.
But that was my favorite response to the episode. A great story, and that episode's probably like 35, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Really, really great guy, Curly Boo, especially what he does for hoops in the area. And unfortunate that couldn't do his boot camp this past year due to COVID. I hope to see that picked back up here upcoming year. Really good for the youngsters.
Absolutely. Youngster Adam Beasley dropping it in there, and a lot of the Peoria area, the best talent in Peoria, they are part of that camp, and he does a great job of working them in. So a lot of the area's best will serve as counselors and help out with that. It's always a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, Joey, and you touched on the NCAA tournament. Illinois potentially could land a top seed in there. Adam Miller is a former camp counselor from, originally from Peoria, transferred from Manual to Chicago Morgan Park, where had a phenomenal senior year, which landed him on Brad Underwood's team.
DeMonte Williams as
DeMonte
well.
Williams
Yep.
from Manual, yeah. Pee Wee Brown did that as a counselor, Journal Star Player of the Year. A lot of talent through those camps.
Feed down low, and Peoria going to work. Here's Stayshawn Kelly. Kelly tries to get all the way to the rack, and he'll be rewarded with 2 free throws for his efforts. It was a lot of fun watching Pee Wee Brown and that Manual team last year, figuring into that conversation with Notre Dame. They were set to square off in the sectional final. That's coming up on a year ago. I think it's a year ago Friday, right?
Yep, I believe so. Yeah, because my last game, I remember seeing Roanoke Benson earn their trip to the state finals, and then that was everything went out the window after that.
Today is the 10th. Tomorrow, of course, March 11th, is really the day everything shut down. And
But that won't be the case this year.
Yeah.
We won't see that postseason, unfortunately. We'll still see some basketball, though.
That's right, and you'll see a lot of it here on ClutchSportsIL.com next couple of days. Kelly's first free throw is successful, and his second one is on the way.
Yeah, Joey, and that's the one thing. We're fortunate to be able to have such a great crew to come out here and film these games, provide it for our viewers. But it was surreal when we did our first game, Metamora IVC, just to be in a gym, just to see as many games as we've seen this year. It's well over 20s, and just glad to be back. And it's a good experience for those kids to come out and give it one last go around too.
Certainly is, and I hope, for the sake of these players, I hope that some of our viewers have been college coaches and recruiters, and because that really, I think, was the main driving force behind getting this season in such a short amount of time. Is a lot of these players who maybe had the chance to play at the next level but weren't quite there yet. They could use this brief season to get some film and get some tape and kind of showcase what they can do against live competition, and very good live competition at that.
And you're going to see a lot of it on Peoria High, Peoria Manual, Richwoods, our area teams, as well as your normal West, Centennial, Danville. But one player to really keep an eye on, especially if you're a college coach or a scout, is Noah Reynolds. 6'3", senior guard, can really do it all for the Irish. He's been their driving force.
And we're looking forward to seeing him tomorrow night. Peoria and Notre Dame will kick off a Clutch Sports Media triple header. That is set to get going at 4 o'clock, so join us maybe take off work a little early on a Thursday and come out to, you don't have to come out to Normal Community because you can watch us at home or wherever you may be, on ClutchSportsIL.com or YouTube. And then we will have Manual and Champaign Central at 6 o'clock. And it looks like, as Peoria's looking good here in the third quarter, it looks like they would play Richwoods should they go on to win in Peoria. And we would see the winner of Urbana and Danville against Normal Community. I believe that is tomorrow.
I was going to say, it would take a big fourth quarter, but Peoria High's been in command all game, and they're sitting pretty in the driver's seat right now. It would really haven't really turned it off, had their foot on the gas this whole game.
Bloomington an inbound. If they have anything left, they've got to start to empty the tank here shortly. It's Adam Beasley. Beasley guarded by Young, tries to get to the basket, and he's fouled. That'll be the fourth Peoria foul and the fifth, or against the fifth foul, I should say, for Bloomington. So fouls 4 to 5. Peoria, the home team in this one, is evidenced by the white uniforms. Bloomington gets it in, fading away at the buzzer.
That was a nice putback by Beasley. Talked about him in the second chance points, but that one's not going to count there at the buzzer.
Marion Reynolds gave it a run. That's how the third quarter will end. It's 54, to 32, favoring Peoria here at the quarter break. And we'll take this time to remind you that tonight's coverage is brought to you by Uftring Weston Chevy Cadillac in Peoria. From the iconic Silverado and Blazer to the luxurious Cadillac XT4 and Escalade, Uftring Weston offers world-class sales and service right here in Peoria. Visit UfteringWeston.com today. Tonight's coverage is also brought to you by Uftring Nissan on Allen Road in Peoria. Test drive the latest exciting Nissan products, including the all-new 2021 Rogue and Sentra. Plus, save time and buy your car 100% online. Visit UfteringNissan.net today. And tonight's coverage is brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Peoria on Allen Road. Take advantage of courtesy car specials and drive home a Jaguar or Land Rover for less than you might think. Jaguar Land Rover Peoria.com. Joey Wright alongside John Camosa, along with the entire Clutch Sports Media team. That's Francisco Alonso on our computer tonight, John Michael on our game camera, and Josh Schwam at the helm of our social media channels. We'll have a quick 30-second timeout, John, just as soon as the fourth quarter begins.
Yeah, Dan Ruffin, I think, saw something in his defense he didn't, or I should say his offense that he didn't really like. Not the right spot on the floor he's given directions to, but take a timeout to talk things over here a little bit, make sure his team doesn't let up here in this fourth quarter. Something that sometimes teams could tend to do if you have a lead this big, but to keep their foot on the gas.
And a good timeout, I would think, from Dan Ruffin there. You know, it's a big lead, a 22-point lead, but we've seen a run can happen just like that. And if Bloomington could get it down to 10 points or so, you know, about that 4-minute mark, it would take, of course, a pretty good-sized run even to get it to that point. But if they could whittle into it shortly, you know, who knows?
Yeah, you never know, and it is, like I said, it's postseason time. See if they got a run left in them, but Joey, we've seen too many good things out of Peoria High tonight to really imagine them slowing down much.
We certainly have. It's been a very rounded effort for this Lions team, although an offensive foul there, that one against Elijah Love, gives Bloomington an opportunity. It's Bloomington's first possession of the fourth quarter, and it's Barger. Barger going over to Grant Lieber. And over to Barger, and a handoff behind him to Beasley. Beasley wants the deep three. That is short, and Love the easy rebound. And Peoria playing, John, at a much slower clip than what we saw early in the first half when they built this lead that has hovered around the 20-point mark for a while now.
Certainly has, and like I said, in that third quarter, they seemed to play just fine in that half-court offense. See, Bloomington's going to bring a little bit defensive pressure here, see if it phases Peoria High.
It's back in a 20-point game after Nolan Rink finished. Jones wanted the three, and Bloomington forces the turnover. So up goes Reynolds. Reynolds crosses. And looks to the corner, and driving in is Beasley. Beasley blocked cleanly. And Allen will run it up for the Lions. And Allen tries to go off the window. Gets it back in the corner. And a nice move. It's Tyrion Whitney Williams. Have not called his name tonight. It's been mostly TJ Whitney Williams for the Lions. 3 coming from Bloomington. Barger a little bit short. A little bit short, a little bit off has been the key for Bloomington.
Certainly has. A couple early turnovers for Peoria High, too. Talked about Bloomington trying to back in that lead and doing a good job of forcing turnovers.
It's Moore for Peoria. Moore is guarded by Barger. And a foul.
I believe that's underneath.
Yeah, it looks like an offensive foul based on the reactions. And I believe that will go against Moore. Stayshawn Kelly will come back in for Peoria. And a timeout. Tell you what, John. Full timeout called. Peoria huddled up immediately. Bloomington now just heads over to the bench. And the timeout comes, as you see at the bottom of your screen, with 5 minutes and 46 seconds left to play in our 4th frame. We'll take this break to remind you that tonight's coverage is brought to you by Uftring Weston Chevy Cadillac in Peoria. From the iconic Silverado and Blazer to the luxurious Cadillac XT4 and Escalade, Uftring Weston offers world-class sales and service right here in Peoria. Visit UfteringWeston.com today. Also brought to you tonight by Uftring Nissan on Allen Road in Peoria. Test drive the latest exciting Nissan products, including the all-new 2021 Rogue and Sentra. Plus, save time and buy your car 100% online. Visit UfteringNissan.net today. And by Jaguar Land Rover Peoria on Allen Road. Take advantage of courtesy car specials and drive home a Jaguar or Land Rover for less than you might think. JaguarLandRoverPeoria.com. John, that was probably a good timeout for Peoria. Bloomington has not cut into the lead significantly over the last couple of minutes, but they've created some chances, and I think Peoria took note of that.
Yeah, just a chance to regroup and then try to get their offense clicking again.
Another turnover here. Bloomington trying to run it. Kelly nearly forced another turnover for Peoria. They all hit the floor, and that leaves an open layup opportunity for Caden Baker, and Baker converts.
Good effort there by that Shuey to stick with it. Pardon me, that's Nolan Rink on that pass. Hit the floor and get that pass off.
Lead is back under 20 for the Lions as they set up shop. It's Moore. And we'll see if Bloomington can stay active in these passing lanes and create some sort of opportunity. Starting to near the halfway point of the quarter, and it's Allen.
Kind of late in a game like this where Peoria High slows it down even more so. You know, they got a big lead, just contain it.
Allen tried to split the defense. Peoria gets an offensive board, and Love cleans it up. Eli Love has had a nice evening, but Bloomington first back to the basket, and Love couldn't get back in time. Bloomington still wants to play with tempo.
Certainly do, and if you get another bucket and a stop here, a chance to cut it to 16. Certainly got into the lead.
Now Love turning around, and Eli Love, 4 points in a row for Peoria.
Great post move there by him.
Bloomington not allowed to get back as quickly on offense, and a foul against the Lions. Be the 6th for Peoria, so that matches the foul output for Bloomington, which is also 6. And the next foul we see will put us in the 1-and-1. And that'll take us to our masked timeout. And we'll take this break to remind you that tonight's coverage is brought to you by Uftring Weston Chevy Cadillac in Peoria. From the iconic Silverado and Blazer to the luxurious Cadillac XT4 and Escalade, Uftring Weston offers world-class sales and service right here in Peoria. Visit UfteringWeston.com today. Tonight's coverage is also brought to you by Uftring Nissan on Allen Road in Peoria. Test drive the latest exciting Nissan products, including the all-new 2021 Rogue and Sentra. Plus, save time and buy your car 100% online. Visit UfteringNissan.net today. And by Jaguar Land Rover Peoria on Allen Road. Take advantage of courtesy car specials and drive home a Jaguar or Land Rover for less than you might think. Jaguar Land Rover Peoria.com. Glad you're back with us on ClutchSportsIL.com. I'll tell you what, John, Uftring Nissan on Allen Road. It's where I bought my car.
Yeah.
Took good care of me.
Good place to shop with.
Absolutely. And my car has a bit of my new car at that, has a bit of a fender bender right now. Collided with a fleet vehicle a couple of weeks ago. It's being taken care of by Uftring Weston, and they're taking good care of me too. It's an easy process with them, so glad that Uftring is on board with us tonight and throughout the season. I'm sure our viewers want to know more about that fleet vehicle story now, but I won't get too far into that.
I think if they go back and watch one of our Metamora games, it might have told the whole story there. I think that was brought up on a broadcast.
That's another tease. There we go. Go back, and that was it. I know exactly what you're referring to. That was the morning of the Dunlap Metamora 3 overtime game.
And what a game to kind of get your mind off of it, thinking, oh, man, what a bummer getting a fender bender, and then you see one of the best games you've seen all year for the girls.
That's right. It was a great ball game, the most overtimes we've seen this season. Have we seen another overtime game this season? That might be the only overtime game we've seen, period.
I think, all the games I've seen, that was the only one, yeah. Especially multiple overtimes. We'd be lucky to see that again in this postseason.
That was a lot of fun, and it's always fun when you get that first overtime, let alone 3 of them.
Yeah.
Dunlap was able to pull that out. Of course, they're the top seed in the Middle Illini Conference girls tournament. Eagles led by Sophia Remmel and Lily Sutter as Cavius Coleman drops in a 3 for Bloomington. Lead down to 17. And I tell you what, John, the deficit is 17 points, 2.5 minutes to play. You think, well, Peoria's probably got it, but Bloomington has kept hustling. They've kept after it. They've kept playing hard. And if this is it for their season, this last 2:30, you can say you went out with your head up and you kept playing.
Yeah, you certainly did. And like you said, if Peoria High holds on, Bloomington, credit to them, and they went out with a fight and could have been out of this game from the start, but they kept grinding away, and those threes helped and tried to play the best defense as they could.
Peoria slowing it down a little bit here. They've got this game well in hand. This would be the 6th win of the year for the Lions, and Marion Young dribbling and now looking across the court, and a double dribble. Peoria with a win in this one will advance to play Richwoods tomorrow night. That game will be at Richwoods tomorrow at 6. We will not have that one on ClutchSportsIL.com. We will be here for a triple header. We would have seen Bloomington had they pulled it out, but it looks that they will fall to the Lions. And that triple header starts with Peoria Notre Dame and the winner of our next game, Centennial and Normal West. And a block and a foul. And that'll send Jalen Durango to the stripe.
He talked earlier about TJ Barker and standout athlete that he is, not only the basketball court, but as a golfer, and signing with Coach Mike Small in Illinois. And then you look at our next game in store, and you got Normal West, Corey Walker, really good wide receiver, Division I. Believe he's going to Illinois State, unless I missed that.
Yeah, Corey Walker, a big piece of that Normal Wildcats squad. Normal West Wildcats, that is. And that game will start on ClutchSportsIL.com here in the next couple of minutes after this one ends. They'll clear the gym, and, of course, bring the teams in to go through their warm-ups. So it'll begin on ClutchSportsIL.com, say 15, 20 minutes or so after this one concludes. Refresh your browsers. For that one, it'll also be, of course, a new YouTube stream. If you're watching on YouTube, stay on our YouTube channel and find Normal West and Centennial, and you'll be able to watch that one live starting in what we believe to be the next 15, 20 minutes after this one ends. Stay tuned, and, of course, our social medias will have that information for you, primarily our Twitter. That's at ClutchSportsIL.
And, Joey, I don't want to put you on the spot on this one, just bringing it up. Corey Walker, was he going to Western Michigan or Illinois State?
I heard Western Michigan.
I believe it was Illinois State, and then he originally committed, and then I think I saw Western Michigan. I'm going to have to double-check that after this game.
Nico Jackson, a 3 there for Peoria. Sorry, John. And I heard Western Michigan this morning from Larry Larson.
Okay.
So that's
because ISU was there on the radar. I remember him having interest or committing, and then it was Western Michigan. So I think I stand corrected.
In any case, a terrific player and one who's been a big part of the Normal West program last couple of years. Normal West has had a couple of Division I players walk those halls. Francis Okoro.
Yeah, and Joey, any time you can, you talk about how talented Corey Walker is on the football field, landing a 6'7" receiver / tight end at that size. I think you talk about Western Michigan, Illinois State. I think any school would be lucky to have a player of that caliber.
Absolutely. Peoria looking to advance to the next round of the tournament. Driving in and dropping one in is Tyrion Whitney Williams. And that increases the Peoria lead to 20, which goes final. The Lions down the Purple Raiders 63-43. And that will end the first game of the 2021 Big 12 tournament.
Certainly a good game for Peoria High, Joey, and they came out really, really hot to start. Didn't let up, and still coming away with the 20-point victory, and Dan Ruffin's got to be proud of his guys after that one.
He absolutely does, and the Lions will play Richwoods tomorrow. That's not an easy matchup. 2 Peoria schools going at it in Peoria. But the Lions have had success in those Peoria matchups, and got to figure the confidence is high entering tomorrow's contest. John, your final takeaways from what was a big win for the Lions, to say the least.
Yeah, it certainly was. Like I said, just had to start, pushed the ball in transition, played really good defense, kind of clicked on all cylinders there, slowed the tempo down, and still adjusted to that in the second half, and got it done on the rebounding battle. But good season for Bloomington. I should say, hung there with the defensive effort a little bit, cut into the lead, but can't hang your head too much. You had a basketball season and you competed and just fell to the better team tonight, which was Peoria High.
Peoria High advances. And to our listeners, I will amend what I said a moment ago. I said the next game will start about 15, 20 minutes after the conclusion of Peoria's victory against Bloomington. I was a little mistaken, John. I didn't recognize the time. It's 7:22 as we speak, or just a little bit after. So we are currently on pace for that 8 o'clock start time. Next game, Centennial and Normal West. So that one will start right at 8 o'clock. We'll go on just a couple of moments before that one begins. So 15, 20 minutes will turn into probably about a half hour or so before we're back on the air. But a fun one coming up, Centennial and Normal West, 2021 Big 12 tournament. Kind of a unique byproduct of the unique season we're in, with COVID and everything, kind of eliminating the next couple rounds of the state series beyond all the rounds of the state series beyond the regular season, that would be. But nice that we've got something to play for here in Normal.
Certainly, and looking forward. You said about 30 minutes till that next game. Definitely looking forward to that one. Haven't gotten a chance to see Normal West play, but we talked about Corey Walker with his size. And Joey, we did get a chance to see Centennial in a win over Richwoods earlier in the season, and man, do they got size.
They certainly do. And that game coming up at 8 o'clock. Tim Lavin and the Centennial Chargers and Edward Haferman and the Normal West Wildcats ready to go at it. But for our entire Clutch Sports Media crew, John Camosa, Francisco Alonso, Josh Schwam, and John Michael, I'm Joey Wright. Peoria moves on with a 63-43 win over Bloomington. Thank you for joining us. This has been a presentation of CSM.